Barcelona looks easy to plan for online, but a handful of things nobody tells you can quietly cost you money, time, and a very expensive lesson in pickpocket zones before your trip even really starts. We are covering 30 real things, from the tourist tax and metro cards to Sagrada Familia tickets, restaurant scams on Las Ramblas, and the local habits that instantly mark you as a tourist. Some of these will save you real money. Others will save you an entire afternoon of frustration, and a few could genuinely change how you plan the whole trip. Save this video before you land, because half of these are the kind of thing you only learn the hard way, standing in the wrong line at Park Guell. Since April 2026, Barcelona's nightly tourist tax doubled, and it now runs anywhere from about 10 to 15 euros a night at a hotel depending on the star rating. Holiday rental apartments get hit even harder, running up to around 12.5 euros per person per night, so a week-long stay can quietly add over 100 euros to your budget. The tax is charged per person per night and collected at check-in or check-out, not baked into the price you see when you first book the room online. Budget for it up front when comparing a hotel against an apartment, since the per-person nightly charge changes the math more for groups and families than it does for solo travelers. Children under a certain age are usually exempt from the charge entirely, and some accommodations cap the tax after a set number of nights, so it is always worth asking the front desk directly. Barcelona's metro is clean, frequent, and covers almost everywhere a first-time visitor wants to go, so skip taxis for anything more than a couple of stops during the day. For most 3 to 5 day trips, the T-Casual card bundling 10 rides for around 13 euros beats buying single tickets every time you tap through a turnstile. The card is shareable too, so 2 people can use the same 10-ride card by tapping it twice, one right after the other, at the same turnstile. Airport transfers need a separate supplement on top of a normal fare, so check the machine screen carefully before tapping in if you are heading straight from Prat. Trains generally stop running around midnight on weeknights, but run all night on Friday and Saturday. Worth checking the schedule before planning a late dinner or a night out. Las Ramblas is worth strolling once for the energy and the street performers, but restaurants directly on it are priced for tourists and rarely represent real Catalan food. Walk 2 or 3 minutes into the side streets of the Gothic quarter, or El Born instead, and you will find far better tapas at a fraction of the price. Menus posted only in English with photos of the food are a reliable sign a restaurant is built for tourist volume, not for the quality locals actually seek out. A restaurant with a handwritten Catalan-only chalkboard menu and no photos is usually the better bet, even if it means asking your server to translate a dish or two. Aggressive hosts standing outside a restaurant trying to wave you in off the street are another reliable warning sign. A genuinely good spot rarely needs to hustle for customers. Barcelona is still one of the top European cities for pickpocketing, though the data shows it improving, and the risk concentrates hard in a handful of very specific places. Las Ramblas, the Gothic Quarter, Barceloneta Beach, Park Guell, and La Boqueria Market are the consistent hotspots, especially during the busy midday and early evening hours. Metro lines 3 and 4 report the highest incident rates, and thieves specifically favor the moment train doors are closing to grab a bag and step off the platform. Keep your bag zipped and worn across your body in front of you, never on your back or dangling from one shoulder, especially the instant a crowded metro car's doors begin to close. Peak pickpocket hours run from around noon through 3, and again from 6 through 8 in the evening, exactly when tourist crowds and commuters overlap the most. 2026 is Gaudi's centenary year, and Sagrada Familia demand is higher than usual, so book your ticket several weeks before you land, not the week you arrive. Basic entry with an audio guide runs around 26 euros, while a guided tour with tower access can run closer to 40, and a temporary centenary surcharge applies on top of that. Tower access is never automatically included in the basic ticket. You have to add it separately, and tower time slots are consistently the first thing to sell out. Book the earliest morning entry slot you can get, both for shorter lines at security and for softer light if you are trying to photograph the interior's famous stained glass. Bring a passport or ID for entry. Security checks tickets against names on busier days, and a printed or downloaded ticket avoids any risk of a weak signal at the gate. Most of Park Guell is a free public park, but the famous mosaic terrace and the two gingerbread-style gatehouses sit inside a separate, ticketed monumental zone with timed entry. Book your timed slot online in advance. Walk-up tickets sell out fast on weekends and during peak summer months, leaving same-day visitors stuck outside the paid area. Arrive right at your booked entry time rather than early, since the gate genuinely will not let you in ahead of your slot even if the line looks short. The free areas surrounding the paid zone still offer excellent skyline views and shaded walking paths, worth exploring even if you only booked a short slot inside. Gaudi's former house within the park is a small, separate museum with its own modest entry fee, worth adding on if you want a deeper look at how he actually lived. Nearly every neighborhood restaurant offers a fixed-price weekday lunch called Menu del Dia. Typically a starter, main, dessert, or coffee, and bread, all for around 12 to 15 euros. It is usually only available on weekdays between 1 and 4 in the afternoon, and it is rarely advertised in English, so just ask your server directly if they offer it. Locals use Menu del Dia constantly, and ordering it is one of the fastest ways to eat like a resident instead of paying tourist prices for the same quality of food. Portions on a Menu del Dia are usually generous enough that a light dinner later in the evening is all you need. A good way to stretch a tighter daily food budget. Most Barcelona restaurants do not open for dinner until 8 or 8:30 at night, and the real local crowd usually does not show up until closer to 10. Showing up at 6 for dinner will often mean an empty restaurant built specifically for tourists on an early schedule, not the neighborhood spot locals actually favor. Tapas bars are the fix if you get hungry early. Most open for small plates and drinks by 7, letting you graze until the main dinner crowd arrives later. Reservations matter more on weekends at popular spots. Book a table for the real dinner hour a day or two ahead if there is one restaurant you do not want to miss. Kitchens generally stop taking orders around 11 or 11:30, even on a busy night. So do not wait too late if you are hoping for a proper sit-down meal. Many restaurants automatically bring bread to the table and charge a small cover fee for it. Usually just €1 or €2, whether you asked for it or not. Tap water is safe to drink, but restaurants rarely offer it for free. Ask specifically for agua del grifo, tap water, if you want to avoid paying for a bottle. The bread charge is standard practice, not a scam, but sending it back untouched at the start of the meal will usually get it removed from your final bill. Bottled water at a sit-down restaurant runs noticeably more than the same bottle from a nearby grocery store, worth carrying a refillable bottle for the rest of the day. Public drinking fountains are common throughout parks and plazas across the city. A free and reliable way to refill a bottle between sightseeing stops on a hot afternoon. Barceloneta beach gets crowded and touts sell everything from sunglasses to cold beer walk in the sand. A polite no thank you is all it takes to move them along. Leaving belongings unattended while you swim is the single most common way tourists get robbed on the beach. Take turns swimming with a companion or use a locking bag. Restaurants directly on the boardwalk are priced steeply for the view. Walking a couple of blocks inland into Barceloneta's grid gets you the same paella for noticeably less. Topless sunbathing is common and legal on Barcelona's beaches, a cultural norm worth knowing beforehand so it does not catch first-time visitors off guard. Free public showers and changing stations line the boardwalk behind the sand, a handy way to rinse off before heading back into the city without a hotel nearby. Real paella is traditionally a lunch dish in Catalonia, cooked fresh to order, and best eaten in the early afternoon rather than as a late-night dinner special. It is also traditionally made for 2 people minimum. Cooked fresh takes 20 to 30 minutes, so order it early in the meal or plan ahead by phone or app. A restaurant offering single-serving paella ready in 5 minutes is almost always using pre-made rice reheated for tourists, not the genuine dish cooked to order. Pidewa, a Catalan cousin made with short noodles instead of rice, is a genuinely great alternative if you want something similar without the wait for a fresh pan. A restaurant right on the beachfront advertising instant paella with a photo menu is almost always cutting corners. Walk a block or two inland for the version worth the wait. The Gothic quarter's medieval street layout was never built on a grid, and getting genuinely lost among its narrow alleys is part of the charm, not a problem to avoid. Keep a offline map downloaded on your phone anyway. Cell signal weakens between the tall stone buildings and dead ends are common in the quarter's oldest sections. Barcelona Cathedral sits at the heart of the quarter and is free to visit most mornings, before a modest entry fee kicks in later for the cloister and rooftop terrace. Plaza Real, just off Las Ramblas, is a genuinely beautiful square for a coffee break, though it doubles as a known pickpocket spot late at night, so stay aware after dark. Casa Batlló and La Pedrera, also called Casa Mila, sit a short walk apart on Passeig de Gracia, and both showcase Gaudi's signature curved organic architecture up close. Both sell timed tickets online, and buying ahead skips a walk-up line that can run over an hour during peak season, especially around Gaudi's 2026 centenary. A combined ticket for both buildings usually costs less than buying each separately, worth comparing before booking if you plan to see both on the same trip. La Pedrera's rooftop, with its surreal chimney sculptures, is genuinely one of the most photographed spots in the whole city. Go near sunset for the best light. FC Barcelona's Camp Nou stadium runs a self-guided museum and tour. Most days there is no match, letting fans walk the pitch tunnel and trophy room without needing tickets to a game. Match day tickets, when available, sell out fast for the biggest rivalries. Checking the club's official site directly avoids overpaying steep resale prices from third-party sites. The stadium sits a metro ride outside the city center. Budget extra travel time compared to the more central attractions clustered around the Gothic quarter and Eixample. Renovation work has affected parts of the stadium in recent years. Check the official tour page for current access before booking, since some sections rotate in and out of the route. Montjuic Hill overlooks the port and packs in a castle, gardens, an Olympic stadium from 1992, and the Magic Fountain. More than a rushed hour can cover well. The cable car up from the port offers sweeping harbor views, while a free public escalator system on the hill's northern side saves the uphill walk from Plaza España. The Magic Fountain runs a free evening light and water show on weekend nights, timed to music, one of the best free things to do in the entire city. Fundació Joan Miró sits partway up the hill too, a smaller, less crowded museum experience worth combining with a Montjuic afternoon if modern art interests you. Gracia, just north of the main tourist core, was its own independent town until the late 1800s and still feels like a village with small squares and local shops. It sits genuinely light on tourist crowds compared to the Gothic quarter, making it a good base for travelers who want walkable charm without constant foot traffic. Plaza del Sol and Plaza de la Villa de Gracia both fill with locals grabbing drinks outdoors in the evening, a good low-key alternative to the busier squares downtown. Gracia hosts a major annual street festival in August with elaborately decorated streets, worth timing a visit around if your trip dates happen to line up. Small family-run bakeries and produce shops still outnumber chains in Gracia, a genuinely good neighborhood to pick up snacks before heading up toward Park Guell nearby. La Boqueria off Las Ramblas is beautiful, but genuinely packed with tour groups and tends to run pricier stalls aimed squarely at tourists rather than daily shoppers. Mercat de Sant Antoni, a short walk away, sells the same quality produce, cheese, and seafood, with noticeably fewer tourists and prices closer to what locals actually pay. Sunday mornings at Sant Antoni also host a used book and collectibles market in the surrounding plaza, a good add-on if you enjoy browsing outside the food stalls. Both markets close on Sundays for regular grocery shopping, but Sant Antoni's book market keeps the plaza lively even when the indoor food stalls are shut. Vendors inside both markets are generally happy to slice cheese or fruit into a smaller sample-sized portion if you ask, a good way to try something before committing to a full piece. Barcelona's flat waterfront and dedicated bike lanes make cycling a genuinely fast way to cover the distance between the Gothic quarter, Barceloneta, and Pobleno. Bicing, the city's public bike share, technically requires a resident registration, so short-term visitors are better off with a private rental shop instead. Rental shops cluster near the beach and along Passeig de Gracia, with daily rates usually cheaper than a full day of rideshare or taxi trips around the same route. Stick to marked bike lanes and be alert at intersections. Barcelona drivers are used to cyclists, but shared lanes with pedestrians near the beach get crowded fast in summer. Electric scooter rentals are widely available too, but check local rules on where they can legally be ridden and parked before you take one, since enforcement has tightened city-wide. July and August regularly push past 90 degrees, and Barcelona's stone streets trap heat. So plan major walking and outdoor sightseeing for morning or early evening instead. Many locals follow a slower midday rhythm in summer, with some shops closing for a few hours in the early afternoon before reopening later into the evening. Air conditioning is not universal in older apartments and budget hotels. Worth checking reviews specifically for it if you are visiting during peak summer heat. Spring and fall bring milder temperatures and thinner crowds at major sites. Genuinely the best trade-off if your travel dates are flexible at all. Sunscreen and a hat matter more than most first-time visitors expect. The Mediterranean sun is genuinely stronger than it feels while you are walking through shaded Old Town streets. Barcelona's black and yellow taxis run on a standard meter. A short ride across the city center typically costs less than 15 euros during normal daytime hours. Uber and Bolt both operate in Barcelona, often at similar or slightly lower prices than a metered taxi, and both let you confirm the fare before you ride. Airport transfers by taxi charge a fixed supplement on top of the meter. Ask the driver to confirm the flat rate before you leave the curb at El Prat. Late at night after the metro closes, a taxi or rideshare is the safer call over walking through quieter side streets, especially for solo travelers unfamiliar with the layout. Credit cards are widely accepted almost everywhere, including taxis, though carrying some small cash still helps for tiny purchases like a coffee or a metro top-up at a machine. Vermouth, or Vermouth Hour, is a beloved Sunday midday tradition where locals gather at neighborhood bars for a glass of house vermouth with olives and small snacks. Look for a bar with a chalkboard listing Vermouth Casero, house-made vermouth, a sign the spot takes the tradition seriously rather than just pouring a bottled brand. It typically runs from late morning through early afternoon on weekends, a relaxed, unhurried way to experience a genuinely local ritual before lunch. Gracia and the Gothic Quarter both have long-running vermouth bars that locals return to for decades. Worth asking a server for their personal favorite spot nearby. Ordering Vermouth Negre, the red version, or Vermouth Blanc, the white version, is a good icebreaker line for a first-timer who has never tried it before. Unlike the United States, tipping in Barcelona is not expected as a core part of a server's income, since service charges are typically built into menu pricing already. Rounding up the bill or leaving 5 to 10% at a sit-down restaurant for good service is a kind, appreciated gesture, but nowhere close to the American norm. Bars and cafes rarely see any tip at all from locals. Leaving small change is fine, but never expected the way it would be at a similar spot back home. Taxi drivers generally do not expect a tip either, though rounding up to the nearest euro for a smooth ride is a common, easy habit among both locals and visitors. Catalonia has its own language, Catalan, alongside Spanish. And most street signs, menus, and museum placards appear in Catalan first, which can confuse first-time visitors. Learning a few basic Catalan phrases like "si us plau" for please genuinely goes further with locals than defaulting straight to Spanish in a shop or restaurant. Nearly everyone in the tourist-facing service industry speaks functional English, so language rarely becomes a real barrier even without any Catalan or Spanish at all. English translations on official signage and transit apps are reliable and consistent, so navigating the city without either local language is genuinely manageable for most visitors. Museum and monument audio guides almost always offer an English option, worth confirming when you buy a ticket if a language track matters to your visit. El Born, just east of the Gothic quarter, mixes medieval architecture with some of the city's best small bars, boutiques, and late-night tapas spots. The Picasso Museum sits right in the neighborhood, housed across several converted medieval palaces, worth booking a time ticket ahead during peak tourist season. Santa Maria del Mar, a striking Gothic church built almost entirely by volunteer dock workers centuries ago, offers free entry and a genuinely peaceful break from the crowds outside. Elborn gets noticeably livelier after dark, with wine bars and live music spilling into the narrow streets, a good pick for an evening after Gothic quarter sightseeing. Small design boutiques and local jewelry studios cluster along Carrer del Rec, a good stretch for souvenir shopping that skips the mass-produced stalls near the main squares. Montserrat, a dramatic mountain monastery about an hour outside the city, is reachable by train and cable car, and makes for a genuinely stunning half-day escape. Sitges, a beach town about 40 minutes south by train, offers a more relaxed, colorful coastal escape with fewer crowds than Barcelona's own city beaches. Both destinations are easy to reach by regional train from Barcelona's main stations. No rental car needed, and tickets can be bought same day at the station. Book the Montserrat cable car or rack railway combo ticket online ahead of a weekend visit, since it can sell out during the busiest summer travel months. Both trips work well as a full day out, but starting on the earliest reasonable train gives you the most time on site before the return schedule thins out in the evening. Many smaller independent shops in Barcelona still close for a couple of hours in the early afternoon, typically between 2 and 5 before reopening into the evening. Large department stores and shopping centers stay open through the afternoon without a break, a reliable fallback if you need to shop during that midday closing window. Sunday closures are common too. Many independent shops and some restaurants close entirely, plan grocery runs and souvenir shopping around a weekday when possible. Pharmacies rotate a duty schedule so at least one stays open nearby at all times. Look for the posted Farmacia de Guardia sign for the current location. Grocery stores and convenience shops near tourist-heavy areas tend to stay open later and on Sundays specifically because of visitor demand, worth remembering for a late-night snack run. Barcelona's El Prat airport splits into Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, and they sit far enough apart that you cannot simply walk between them if you land at the wrong one. Double-check which terminal your airline uses before booking transport. Most low-cost carriers use Terminal 2, while many full-service international airlines use Terminal 1. A free shuttle bus connects the two terminals, but it can take 15 to 20 minutes. Budget extra time if you have a tight connection between different terminals. The Aerobus and Metro's L9 line both connect the airport directly to the city center, generally faster and cheaper than a taxi during normal daytime traffic. A stranger offering a free bracelet or rose and then demanding payment is a classic Las Ramblas scam. A firm no thank you and walking away ends it every time. The shell game and other street card tricks near Las Ramblas are rigged. Never engage, even if a planted onlooker appears to be winning money right in front of you. A stranger pointing out a stain on your clothing and offering to help clean it is a known distraction technique used to pick a pocket while you are looking down. Only use official taxi ranks or a licensed rideshare app. Unmarked cars offering a flat fare near tourist attractions are a common way visitors get seriously overcharged. Petitions or clipboard surveys handed to you on the street, often near major squares, are sometimes a pickpocket distraction. A polite decline while keeping your bag close is the safest response. Barcelona uses color-coded street bins for organic waste, paper, glass, and general trash, and locals genuinely sort their waste before dropping it off, even for a short-term rental. If you are staying in an apartment rental, check the welcome guide for the nearest bin bank, since street littering carries real fines that are actively enforced. Glass bottles go in the green bin specifically. Mixing them with general trash is one of the more common mistakes short-term visitors make without realizing it. Smoking is banned on beaches and in most parks now, with posted signage and occasional spot fines. Worth checking before lighting up outside a designated area. Glass containers are also banned on the beach itself for safety reasons. Worth transferring a drink into a reusable cup before heading down to the sand. Barcelona's Mediterranean climate swings more than people expect. Mild, damp winters, genuinely hot summers, and a breezy coastal chill that shows up any time of year near the water. Pack a light layer even for a summer trip. Evening sea breezes off Barceloneta and Port Vell can cool things down noticeably after a hot, sunny afternoon. Comfortable walking shoes matter more than anything else you pack. The Gothic quarter's uneven cobblestones and Montjuic's hills add up fast over a multi-day trip. Check the week's forecast the morning you land rather than trusting whatever you packed for months ago. Mediterranean weather can shift faster than a distant forecast predicts. A packable rain shell earns its space in your bag even in summer. Sudden coastal showers roll through fast and clear again within an hour most of the time. That is 30 things I wish I knew before my first trip to Barcelona. Small details that add up to a much smoother trip in 2026. Which one of these surprised you the most? The tourist tax, the pickpocket hotspots, or the Sagrada Familia booking rules? Let us know in the comments below. If this guide helped you plan your trip, please like and subscribe for more honest, detailed travel guides from our small channel. Aloha from Kahana Designs. And until next time, safe travels and sweet dreams.